Hare Krishna, welcome to the online class. So today we are going to discuss about one of the very important subject matter, that is all is well is a myth in this material world. Before we start our class discourse, we offer our Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यं नवोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले सोऽयं रूपः दामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणशिरघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं सद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदं सगन ललितां श्री विशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यः वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णा प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So thank you very much for coming online to attend the classes. So hearing is very important because as soon as we hear Krishna Katha or Srimad Bhagavatam Katha, the Lord himself, Lord says in Bhagavatam, he himself entered through the ears to our heart, because as soon as we have come away, turned away from Lord, from the spiritual world, we are captured by Maya. Krishna bahirmukha jiva bhagavancha kare nikatastha maya tare jhapatiya tare. What happened? The Maya captured our consciousness. Maya captured our heart, our mind, and Maya has put a wall. Actually, our heart is completely, walled. Maya has put a direction four wall. Inside wall, there is so many enemies has been placed by Maya. The adulterated consciousness, when our consciousness, our heart is contaminated, come in contact with material energy or Maya, so many enemies has been placed, has been deployed in our heart by Maya. Lust, anger, greed, jealousy, envies, illusion, all the kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madha, maschara, all these enemies, they have been deployed by the Maya in a very strategic location. They are all ready. They do not want any trespasser. Maya is very insurmountable, very efficacious, because this material world is a kingdom of Maya. Therefore, Maya is very potent, very efficacious. So, when we hear about Krishna Katha, Pravishta Kannarandrena, through years, so it is just like an army is landing. So, Krishna's army is landing in our heart to fight with these enemies. This kama, krodha, lobha, madha, maschara, these are the impediment for us. These are our enemies, which is, we are hijacked actually. As soon as we turn away from the Lord, we are hijacked actually. Hijacked by Maya. Nikatastha Maya tare jhapatiya dhare means hijacked us. So we are hijacked and imprisoned in this wall with enemies. So very difficult for us to extricate. As soon as we hear Krishna Katha, Krishna is landing, just like an army ship is landing in the war field to fight or combat the enemies. So Krishna is landing in our heart. Pravishta Kannarandrena. Swanam Bhava Saruraham. So Krishna is landing in the earth. So when Krishna is landing, there is a big fight is going on. And Krishna cannot be defeated. Krishna cannot be defeated by Maya, because Maya Dakshana Prakriti Swate Sucharacharam. See, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 and text 10 that this Prakriti, this material energy, this Maya is my maid servant. Maya is under my direction, my superintendent. Krishna servant. So when there is a fight between the Krishna and all this Maya's agent like lust, anger, greed, so Krishna finally what? Defeat all of them. Dhunati samalam Krishna. Sunnatam Sokata Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana Huda Antastani Abhadrani. All these Abhadra dirty things, the enemies are vanquished, are subjugated by Krishna. Therefore the hearing is very, very important thing, very important. Our devotional story begins with hearing. A Vaishnava is advanced or not is determined how much he has got the taste for hearing. Prabhupada say that. How much one has got the taste for hearing Krishna Katha, his advancement can be determined actually. This is the yardstick, that is the taste. Therefore, this is very important. Krishna comes actually. Pravishta Kannara Andrena Saruram Sonam Bhava Saruraham Dhunati Samalam Krishna Udantustani Abhadrani Tatra Kirtibi Susuribi what is that? Bhagavatam it is say that immediately Krishna Avaruddhati Sadhya Hudaya Avaruddhati Tatra Kirtibi Susuribi Tatacharan. Immediately Krishna comes and trespasses the wall of Maya. Why trespasses? Because Krishna is very famous as a thief, trespasser. Nobody is better trespasser than Krishna. Braje Prasiddham Navanita Choram. Krishna is very famous, foremost thief actually. Bilba Mangala Thakur is praying, it's a very nice song that Braje Prasiddham Navanita Choram Gopanga Ganam Chadukulam Choram. So Krishna is very, very famous as a butter thief. He is a very trespasser. Despite all their preventive measure by the gopis, Krishna trespasses and steals the butter. Therefore, he is foremost thief. Braje Prasiddham is very notorious, is very famous in Braja as a thief. So a thief knows how to trespass the house. He doesn't need an invitation. There is no invitation for thief. He comes and trespasses. He knows the trick. Similarly, Krishna, when you hear Krishna Katha, Krishna enters and trespasses this wall created by Maya and goes inside. Dhunati Samalam. Dhunati means cleanses. He himself cleanses. Sunnatam Sokatha Krishna, Batam Sokatha Krishna, Punya Sravana Kirtana, Huda Antastani Avadadrani, Bidunati. Not only Dhunati, Bidunati means cleans, completely cleans, very thoroughly cleans. To ensure that every corner there is no enemy, no lust, no anger, no greed, no Avhadrani, no dirty thing. No enemy will be escaped. It's a very, what we say, surgical strike by Krishna. Therefore, the potency hearing is most important thing. One time Prabhupada was giving classes Bhagavatam. Two of the devotees they were leaving classes. So Prabhupada asked, where are you going? No, I am going for service. What kind of service you will be doing? That is nonsense. What service can be perfected without hearing? Without understanding the knowledge, we cannot execute devotional service. Knowledge is important first thing. Hear and get the knowledge first. Without knowledge, we cannot perfect our action. So first of all, hear. So Prabhupada always emphasizes, the whole Bhagavatam emphasizes on hearing process. Everywhere it is say, hearing. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Dhanam, Harir Adbhuta Kamanam, Adbhuta Karmanam. Tad Arthat, what is that? Janmam Karma Divyam tad arthe akhila chestata. So hearing process is so important. It is a potent medicine to defeat our maya, to dismantle the wall, China wall, the great wall of China, the great wall of maya in our heart, which is really impeding us to go to Krishna or get out from this material world, can be dismantled by process of hearing Krishna Katha. Therefore it is said that Tava Vikreditam Krishna Tava Ninnam Sumangalam. It is very auspicious. Paramamangalam. Tava Vikreditam Krishna. Your pastime is very Paramamangalam. As soon as we hear it, then it will it will kill our enemies. So on this note we will start today's verses. Today's verses is that about the all is well. So everybody says this always well. What is this all is well? All is well is a myth, because you see, whatever the activities we do, whatever the desire we have, the ultimate thing is happiness. But a diseased person, if he say I am happy, that is false happiness. Supposing if you go to a hospital, you ask, how are you? Somebody say I am fine. That is a wrong statement, erroneous statement, false statement. It cannot be correct, because if you are happy, why you are lying down in the hospital? Lying down in the hospital itself is a sufficient testimonial that you are not happy. So everybody is seeking for happiness, but they do not know, they falsely claim that I am happy. Because in this material world, there is no question of happiness. This material world is a place of misery, is a breakable place, is a temporary place. So therefore it is said that the so-called all is well is a myth. Nobody can be happy at the expense of this material nature, because the intrinsic, inherent, the subjective nature of this material world is, what we say, unhappiness, misery. The so-called remedy also, whatever the remedy we create to counteract this unhappiness situation, to make all is well, that remedy itself is more problematic than the problems. So people do not know that, unaware that. Therefore they think that, oh, falsely I am happy. That is how the Maya was. Maya conducts like that. It covers. Maya has two functions, avarana atmika and prakhyatmika. Avarana atmika means, avarana means covered. Maya first of all covered our knowledge, so that even a hog is thinking I am happy, all is well. How are you, sir? All is well. Just like Indra was cursed by the Durvasa named Brihaspati, spiritual master actually. So he became a hog. When his period of punishment, curse finished, Brahma came, he called Indra, now your course, your period of punishment, a period of course has been completed. Let's go back, because we have so many other duties. You have entrusted the heaven. You are the heavenly king. So the post is lying vacant. So let us go back. So Indra is telling, no, I do not want to go. I am very happy, sir. I am very happy. I do not want to go back. That is called avaratmika. Maya covers. Even the dog and hog, they are thinking that they are happy. That is there in 334, 35, 36 verses. That is called avaratmika. And prakhyatmika means, supposing if somebody wants to go to Krishna, he will throw them out. Throw him out. First of all, cover the knowledge and throw him out from Krishna. That is called prakhyatmika. He take away from Krishna. Therefore, Maya is very, very insurmountable. So today verses also we will see that how the actual happiness, actual real happiness, how this all is well is a myth. There is no happiness in this material world. The so-called happiness is like a false statement, false happiness without proper understanding of real happiness. So today we will study these beautiful verses that 7, 9, 17. Jasmat priya priya biyogo sayaga janma sokagnina sakala jonisu dhayamanaha dukkhao swadam tadapi dukkham atadhyayam bhuman brahmami badim badama tabadasya jogyam. So here it is very nicely said that dukkho sudho asudam tadapi dukkham. The Oshodam is medicine for misery or remedy for misery is miserable. Therefore, there is no question of all is well. How can all is well? Because the medicine to become well, supposing you have disease condition and doctor is giving a medicine, instead of curing that, it is aggravating. So where is question of being cured? You cannot cure. A patient cannot be cured if a medicine itself is more aggravated. Just like we have some of the vaccine for COVID is reactive. Even it takes very fatal. It takes away the life. So similarly, if the remedy of the medicine or the medicine itself is more aggravating the situation of the patient, so where is the question of all is well in this material world? That is not possible. So let's see the translations and purport by Srila Prabhupada. O Great One, O Supreme Lord, because of contact with displeasing circumstances and separation from pleasing circumstances, one is placed in a most regrettable position. On heavenly or hellish planet as a burning in a fire of lamentation. Although there are many remedies by which to get out of miserable life, any such remedies in this material world are more miserable than miseries themselves. That is very important point. Dukkham osudo dukkham. So any such remedies in this material world are more miserable than miseries themselves. Therefore, I think that only remedy is to engage your service. Kindly instruct me in such service. So here it is said that this remedies, everybody is trying to be happy. They trying to be, everybody is endeavoring for the happiness. They are going to office. They are trying, to get some money and trying to be happy. But they cannot be happy. A learned man knows that the so-called false happiness is not happiness. Economic development, scientific advancement, all this not happiness. Howsoever sophisticated environment we create, gorgeous arrangement we create by our advancement of technology, scientific advancement, political maneuvering or economic development, we cannot surpass the birth, death, disease, old age. We have to die. We have to disease. We have to suffer. We have to take birth. We have to become old age. So a learned man sees that. Therefore, the so-called false happiness is not real happiness. Because a person one who is going to die, how can he be happy? Therefore, it is said that any kind of remedy is more miserable. If trying to counteract your unhappiness in this material world, it is more miserable. The remedy itself is more miserable. The remedy itself is more miserable than the miseries. So there is no question of all is well. Just like a road system, we may create a road system. When you create a road system, you need traffics. We need so many management to make the road system working. In this way, more and more we are entangled in its complexity. Rather than making some happiness, bringing some happiness, we are bringing lot of more misery. Therefore, despite our human civilization, advancement of civilization, we are more in a chaotic. People are very unrest, political unrest, cultural unrest. Everything is unrest because they do not know the happiness. The so-called happiness is as Prabhupada say that this happiness is just like a temporary happiness, permanent inconvenience. One time Prabhupada was driving a car. There is a road work is going on. So Prabhupada was struck in the road in the traffic, and Prabhupada saw that the board is there. It is say that temporary inconvenience, permanent solution. Then Prabhupada immediately put their hand. He immediately say that material world means temporary solution, permanent inconvenience. It is stated in this beautiful verses that how it is a temporary. 339 it is say that गृहेषु क्षेत्रेषु गृहेषु कुत धर्मेषु दुःखतंत्रेषु अतंद्रिता कुर्बन दुःख प्रतिकारम सुखम मान्यते गृही. The attached householder remain in his family life is full of diplomacy, politics, constantly spreading misery. Restricted in his act of sense gratification, he acts just to counteract his miseries. If he can successfully counteract such misery, he thinks he is happy. So the so-called happiness is not actually happiness. It's just like Prabhupada used to give an example, like just like old time, the punishment given by the king, that he bring a victim, a culprit, inside the river and pull his hand inside the water. When he suffocated, he released, and then that release is just like a little happiness. But we do not know that this little happiness is not our solution. The temporary. Just like Vidyapati say, tatale saikate bharibandhu sama. Bharibindu sama. In a desert is like a drop of water that cannot quench. So this material world is cannot give us the happiness. It is said that Sukha is very beautiful verses. In these verses it is said that in this material world every materialistic desire to achieve happiness. Everyone wants to achieve happiness. That is the ultimate goal. Diminishes distress and therefore he acts accordingly. Actually, however one is happy as long as one does not endeavor for happiness. As soon as one begins his activity for happiness, his condition of distress begins. That is very important point. As soon as he wanted to be happy, the distress begins. Because material nature, the intrinsic nature is dukkhalayam, unhappiness. We cannot make it unhappy to happy. Therefore, the all is well just a false. We do not know that. The so-called happiness is not just a very temporary, but with a permanent inconvenience. We are entangled in this complexity, going after this happy so-called happiness. It's like a mirage. Every conditioned soul is bound by the laws of material nature, as described by Bhagavad Gita. Prakriti kriyamanini gunehi karmani sarvasya. Everyone has achieved a certain type of body given by material nature, according to the instruction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara sarvabhauta nam hudaya brahmana sarvabhutani jantra. Supreme Lord situated. So therefore here Prabhupada says that therefore one should not be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Super Soul is present in everyone's heart, and as the living entity desire, Lord gives him facility with which to work according to his ambitions in different grades of body. The body is just like an instrument by which the living entity moves according to false desire for happiness. Thus suffers the pang of birth, death, old age, disease in different standard of life. Everyone begins his activity with some plan and ambition, but actually from the beginning one plan to the end, one does not derive any happiness. On the contrary, as soon as one begins acting according to his plan, his life of distress immediately begins. Therefore, one should not be ambitious to dissipate unhappy condition of life, for one cannot do anything about them. Ahankara vimurta karta. Although one is acting according to false ambition, he thinks he can improve his material condition by his activity. The Veda enjoin that one should not try to increase happiness and decrease distress. This is fertile. Thus, sevayata praiteta kovida. One should work for self-realization, not for economic development, which is impossible to improve. So, it is very impossible, because material world we cannot improve our condition. According to our karma, we are suffering. It is a regrettable condition. As today verses is that it is very regrettable condition. We cannot improve it. Just like a parents, they are so much taking care of the children, but still children are getting disease. Whatever the solution they do, this is the temporary solution. You cannot. We cannot be saved. We cannot be secured in this material world. Therefore, in these verses it is said that, very nice verses, Prahlad Maharaj is praying, Balasya neha vitaro nasingha. My Lord Nrsimhadev, O Supreme, because of bodily conception of life, embodied soul neglected, not cared for, by you cannot do anything for their betterment. You cannot do anything for their betterment. Whatever remedies they accept, although perhaps temporarily beneficial, are certainly impermanent. For example, a father, mother cannot protect their child. A physician, medicine cannot relieve a suffering patient. A boat on the ocean cannot protect the drowning man. You see, just like a father, mother, so caring, but they cannot protect their child. A physician, a doctor cannot, even though he is trying to save a patient, he cannot save. A medicine cannot relieve a suffering patient. A boat on the ocean cannot protect a drowning man. So it is not possible. This is all a temporary solution. But ultimately everybody has to drown. The ocean of material ocean, this material ocean will not allow anyone to cross. It will make us drown unless we get the boat of the lotus feet of Krishna. Unless we are favored by, here it is Prahlad Maharaj say that, unless one is favored by you, unless you are favored by the Krishna, favored by the God, one cannot cross. One cannot do any better thing, cannot do any betterment, anything for their betterment. One cannot be all is well. One cannot be happy. Despite all our endeavor, we cannot cross that. We cannot find the solution for this. Very difficult. This is the nature of the material world, to give us punishment, just like a jail. So there is no question of it. It is said that this material world is full of misery, countless misery. For a person who is suffering in the fire of countless misery, full of countless misery, who desire to cross the insurmountable ocean of material existence, there is no suitable boat except that of cultivating devotion to the transcendental taste for the narration of Supreme Personality of God and Past. We should hear Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha is the only remedy to get out from this disease condition. Nirvitate se rupagiyamanat bhavo sudo sota manoviramat. Bhavosada, this is the medicine to get out. Bhavosada means repeated birth and death. To stop this repeated birth and death, which is our ultimate unhappiness, we trying to happy, but because of birth, death, disease, old age, it impede our happiness. It stands as a stumbling block in front of our happiness, before our happiness. Therefore, to surpass the obnoxious principle misery, birth, death, old age, disease, and become all is well, we have to take shelter of Krishna, devotional service. We have to take shelter of the God. We have to take shelter of the God. Otherwise, there is no chance. There is no chance to get out from this material world. It is stated in this 424, 40 verses, very nice verses, that my dear Lord, by expanding your transcendent, it is stated in this beautiful verses 422-40, the ocean of nescience is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. Although those who are non-devotee undergo severe austerity penance to cross thus, ocean, we recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like boats for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of his lotus feet, you will overcome all dangers. That is the solution has been given. That you want to make it always well, that is not is a myth in this material world. We have to transfer ourselves to spiritual world. Then only we can surpass this. Then only we can be real happiness. Everybody is working so hard. Nayam deha devuja kastam kanam arhati vidbhujam. Everybody working, hustling, bustling to the office, exceedingly busy life, very enormous stressful life, just to get happiness. But eventually they frustrated, they failed. Custom common, very working hard to become happy. But this happiness is very transient, fleeting, flying. It's not a permanent, it's an exhausted happiness. So therefore Shastra recommended that one should do the penances. Tapodivyam putrika jena sattam sudhayate tasmad brahmasokhyam anantam. You want unadjusted happiness, you want happiness, then you should follow this process. What process? You have to do this austerity. Tapasya. What is that austerity? This chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Otherwise there is no question up to get out from this material world. Even if you go to the heaven, there also there is a problem. Even you go to the heaven, no, you may say that no, this places is not good, I will go to heaven. Even you go to the heaven, one cannot find permanent happiness even on the heavenly planet, which one can attain in next life by ritualistic ceremony and sacrifices. Even in material heaven, the living entity is disturbed by the rivalry with his equal and envy of those superior to him. And since one's residence in heaven is finished with the exhaustion of pious activities, pious fruitive activities, the denizens of heavens are afflicted by fear, anticipating the destruction of their heavenly life. Thus they resembles kings who, though enviously admired by ordinary citizens, are constantly harassed by enemy kings and who therefore never attain actual happiness. So in this heavenly planet also it is said that there is a rivalry. There is a fighting between equality, fighting between all these demigods, and envious of superior also. So there is no happiness in the heaven also. Unless we transport to spiritual world, there is no question of happiness. Even in the hell we are disturbed. There is no happiness. Therefore the people, the demigods and all, they do not want to take birth in the hell or heaven. They want human form of life, so that they can practice devotional service to go back. Hell also very disturbances, heaven also very disturbances. Family life, everybody wants family life. I want to be happy, I get married, I will be happy, I will have children, I will have children, I will have grandchildren, so and so forth. Or it is said that in these beautiful verses, that 11:3:18, Sri Prabhupada said, accepting the roles of male and female in human society, the conditioned soul unite in sexual relationship. Thus they constantly make the material endeavors to eliminate their unhappiness. So everybody wanted to be unhappiness, eliminate unhappiness by family life, unlimitedly increase their pleasure. All the family life, the householder life, they want that, oh, I want to my family, my children, I will be happy, I will buy the land, Gruha Khetra Sutapta Viteir. My relatives, I will be surrounded with my relatives, in this way I will be very happy. But it is said that but one should see that they inevitably achieve exactly the opposite result. Inevitably achieve opposite result. In other words, their happiness inevitably vanishes as they grow older. Their material discomfort increases. So they are trying to increase their happiness and eliminate unhappiness in family life, marrying, with sex life and children, with relatives, with friends. But as they grow old, they cannot enjoy. That is their conditioned state, conditional. This is called conditional life, material world. They cannot, we cannot enjoy because we are conditioned, we are restricted. Just like in a jail, we are restricted. We are not free to go everywhere, anything we can We cannot do anything according to our whim, according to our wish. We cannot do that. So that is the problem. We are accepting something, unhappiness is happiness. That is called Maya, illusion. Unhappiness and unhappiness is happiness. So by family life we cannot be happy. By going to heavenly planet we cannot be happy. Even though the ultimate satisfaction, happiness in this material world called sex life. Sex life also we cannot be happy. It is stated in these beautiful verses. So many verses in this regard. 7, 9, 45. They start with 7, 9, 45. It is say that beautiful verse. In mauthanadi grihamedi sukham itucham kandunena karu ibha dukkha dukkam tripyanti neha kirpana bahu dukkha bhado kandutya namanasi jam viseta dhira. Very nice verse this one. Prahlad Maharaj quoted this verse. Sex life is compared to the rubbing of two hands to relieve an each. Grihamedi, the so-called grihasthas who have no spiritual knowledge, think that this itching is greatest platform of happiness. Although actually it is the source of distress. It is the source of distress. It's like a blood, your own blood, you are discharging own blood, concentrated blood, The Kripana, the fools who are just the opposite of Brahmana, are not satisfied by repeated sensuous enjoyment. Those who are dhira, however, who are sober and who tolerate this itching, are not subject to the suffering of fools and rascals. See? Those who are foolish, they think that this is the highest platform of happiness. They do not know this is the source of all distress. All distress, entangle us, defeat our self-interest. Our self-interest to transfer ourselves to spiritual world where we can get the unexhausted happiness, unlimited happiness, unending happiness. Whole criteria is happiness. All our endeavor, the ultimate end, all our desire, all our plan, ultimate endeavor is happiness. But we cannot get happiness. It cannot be material world. We cannot say all is well. All is well only is applied in spiritual world. Vaikuntha, where there is anxiety of any kind of unhappiness. Kuntha means anxiety. So here Prahlad Maharaj is very correctly, very accurately pointing out that how the highest platform in this material world is not actually source of distress, is not happiness. People are unaware of the fact. So it is also repeated, it is also said in another verses, the same thing, that in this human form of life, men and women united for sensual pleasure of sex. But actually, actual experience we have observed that none of them are happy. None of them are happy. That is the problem. Therefore, seeing contrary result, have stopped taking part in materialistic activities. None of them happy. It cannot give the happiness. Bhagavad Gita ki Krishna say all this sensual external happiness is just has an expiry date, 522, the beautiful verses, Bhagavad Gita. So it is said that yahi samprasja bhogo dukkha jonaya bate adyantavata konteya natesu ramante buddha. An intelligent person does not take part in the source of misery which are due to contact with material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasure have a beginning and an end. So wise man does not delight in them. Because that pleasure has a expiry date. The so-called pleasure is a temporary solution, but permanent inconvenience. Because once you entangle, after this mirage or after this illusory happiness, you will defeat your self-interest. Your real selfishness should go. Your real selfishness and self-interest should be get out from this material existence. Go to spiritual existence. Go to spiritual world. Transfer yourself to spiritual world. That is the real ultimate goal of life. Vaikuntha Prakti. That is the ultimate goal of life. Therefore, it defeats our self-interest. Our self-interest is, it is stated in this beautiful verses that our self-interest is 429. In this verses it is said that our self-interest, our purpose should be, our real interest of the living entity is to get out of the nescience that causes him to endure repeated birth and death. The only remedy is to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead through his representative. Unless one renders devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudev, one cannot possibly become completely detached from this material world, nor can he possibly manifest real knowledge. See, here it is said that our problem, our real interest of the living entity is to get out of the nescience of that cause, nescience that causes to endure repeated birth and death. So that is our real interest, real purpose, real aim. But we do not know, due to ignorance we do not know. We are thinking this so-called little happiness at the cost of permanent inconvenience. We are falsely thinking I am happy, all is well. Actually all is not well in this material world. No question of that a diseased person is well, diseased person can never be well. That is common sense, So therefore it is stated in this beautiful verses that because of ignorance I do not know this, my real interest. It covering, the Maya is covering. Due to ignorance, the materialistic person does not know anything about his real self-interest, the auspicious path in life. He is simply bound to material enjoyment by lusty desires. All his plans are made for this purpose. For temporary sense gratification, such person creates a society of envy. Due to this mentality, he plunges into ocean of suffering. Such a foolish person does not even know about this. See? For temporary happiness, for temporary solution, we create a permanent inconvenience. Ocean of suffering. We are entangled in this complexity. We are undergoing the karmic reaction. We do not know how to conduct ourselves to transport to spiritual world. We are so much after sense gratification and we are suffering according to our fruitive activities. It is stated the 11, 10, 17 very nicely. That's the saintly person, 11, 10, 17. So it is stated here in these beautiful verses that although the performer of fruitive activity desire perpetual happiness, we are working hard, getting money, sense gratification, we desiring perpetual happiness. It is clearly observed that materialistic workers are often unhappy. Workers are often unhappy. That means almost every time unhappy and only occasionally satisfied. They are not happy, most of the time unhappy, thus proving that they are not independent or in control of their destiny. We are not control of our destiny. According to karma, our happiness or unhappiness is sealed. Karmena daiva netrana janturutpada upapati. According to our karma, we already, our destiny, whether I will be taking birth in Bill Gates, as a Bill Gates or a gatekeeper, it is according to our karma, previous karma. It is sealed. There is no question of, we can improve it. It is destined. That is destined. Therefore it is said that tasya bhayetu praiteta kovida. Tasya bhayetu praiteta. The intelligent person should not endeavor to improve his, material conditioning. You should endeavor for ultimate purpose of life, to transfer ourselves, to extricate from this entanglement, to transfer ourselves to the spiritual world, to exonerate from this, imprisonment. This is our purpose of life. So it is say that by this so-called working fruitive workers, everybody going to office to become happy, perpetually happiness, they cannot be happy. We cannot happy by family life, going to heaven, sex life and working also. We cannot be happy all these things. There is no question of happiness. Rather, our situation is very precarious in this material world. Any time the death will come. It is stated in this beautiful verses 429-53 that our position is like this. My dear king, please search out a deer who is engaged in eating grass in a very nice flower garden along with his wife. The deer is very much attached to his business. He is enjoying the sweet singing of the bumblebees in his garden. Just try to understand his position. He is unaware that before him is a tiger which is accustomed to living at the cost of another flesh. Behind the deer is a hunter who is threatening to pierce him with sharp arrows. Thus the deer's death is imminent. So here it is said that you see, our position is just like a deer who is munching the grass very happily in a garden with his wife and children. But he does not know that the tiger is waiting for him to pounce in front, and behind the hunter is waiting to kill him. So every side, every direction he has been attacked, he has been threatened. Our position is just like the same. Anytime death will come, because we are existing in a non-existential atmosphere. Therefore our so-called existence is threatened. Although we are eternal, because we have been captured by Maya, imprisoned by Maya, or we have been come in contact with this temporary material world, therefore our existence is threatened. As long as we are this in this material existence, as long as we have accepted this inconvenience of body, temporary body, there is always an inconvenience. Sada samudigna asatagriha. Sada samud, Prahlad Maharaj say, Sada samudigna diham asatagrahat. Because we have accepted this temporary body, so there is always inconvenience. Inconvenience of birth, death, disease, old age, this misery, that misery, every unhappiness. We cannot be happy. We are just like fallen into a dark well. Hitvatma patam andhakupam. Dark well, if you fall down, nobody will see you. Even somebody, there is a very slim chance of rescue or no chance of rescue. Because the dark well, nobody will see you if somebody is really fallen down. And second point is that in a dark well, if you shout also, nobody will hear. So your chances of being rescued is very slim, very null actually, no, zero actually. Therefore this material world has been described by Prahlad Maharaj, it's like a falling into the dark well. Hitvatma patam andhakupam. Therefore we should take shelter of the Hari Katha. You should hear Hari Katha. He will come and defeat the Maya and release us from the imprisonment. Release us from the imprisonment. Jassang bhai Sriyamanam Krishna Paramapurushe Bhakti Rutpadate Punsam Soko Moya Bhayopa. By hearing, Krishna will enter and defeat, and all our Soko, Moho, Bhaya, all this kind of problem, misery of the life will be vanquished. Vividha tapo, all these different varieties of misery can be vanquished by hearing process. Therefore sadhus, they try to mitigate their misery by the process of hearing. Therefore Bhagavatam, the Vasudev has compiled this Bhagavatam so that people will hear it, just like Parikshit Maharaj is hearing and getting liberated. Anartha upasamam sakyat bhakti yogodakyada. Anartha upasamam, anartha, all this unwanted thing, all this miserable life, unhappiness, that can be eliminated. That can be stopped. Anartha upasamam sakyat bhakti yoga, by devotional service. Lokasya jnata vidwan chakare satyam satastva. Lokasya, people do not know that, the formula. Therefore Vasudev has compiled this Bhagavatam so that when you hear Krishna Katha, then it will cleanses all our misgivings, it will cure our disease, it will cure our unhappiness. So this is the thing, that how this material life is so miserable. Padam padam yad vipadam na te tesam. So in every way you trying to be happy, become a good worker, we cannot be happy. Good family man cannot be happy. Sex life cannot give you happiness. Nothing can. Heavenly life can you give happiness. And sometimes the Mayavadi, they say that if I merge into Krishna, I will get happiness. No, that is also, it is stated that the Mayavadi, they think that, if I merge into Krishna, it is Janya Rabindakka Vimuktamanina Toyasta Bhavada Visuddha Buddhaya Arya Krishna Param Padam Tataha Patunti Adha Anadrita Jasamad Angraha. Very beautiful verses. So someone may say, aside from devotee who always seek shelter at the lotus feet, there are those who are not devotee but who have accepted different process of attaining salvation. What happens to them? In answer to this question, Lord Brahma and other demigods say, O lotus-eyed Lord, although non-devotee who accept the severe austerity penance to achieve highest position may think themselves revelated. Their intelligence is impure. They fall down from their position of imagined superiority because they have no regard for your lotus feet. The Mayavadi have no regard for lotus feet. They merge. They say that Krishna is impersonal, God is impersonal. They want to merge into impersonal, but that they cannot get happiness. They fall down from that position. Therefore, all is well is a myth actually. Real happiness is to transfer to spiritual world. That is real happiness. Unadjusted happiness one can get. Therefore, one should understand that all is well is a myth. In due course of time, everybody has to change the platform. Nobody can maintain the status quo in this material world. Despite our very tenacious determination to stay, resolute determination to stay in this material home, we will be rejected by the death. We will be ejected by the death, rudely ejected by the death. So nobody can have any happiness at the expense of material nature. So therefore it is stated that in this verses 10:3-27 that no one in this material world has become free from four principles of birth, death, disease, old age. Even by fleeing to various planets also. Not only you may say that, okay, earthly planet is not good, I go to different planet. Still, you cannot be happy. But now you have appeared, my Lord, death is fleeing in fear of you. And the living entity having obtained shelter at your lotus feet by your mercy, sleeping in full mental peace. So happiness means one should be connected to the God. Unless one become Krishna consciousness, takes shelter of the Krishna, one cannot be happy. One cannot say all is well. Therefore it is said that all these karmi, yogi, jnani, all asantas. Krishna Bhakta Santa. Why Santa? Niskama. He is Niskama. He does not desire for happiness. He knows that this material world, the happiness is a myth. Therefore he does not endeavor. Therefore it is said that Krishna Bhakta Santa, Ateva Santa. All this karmi, yogi, jnani, everything is asanta because they are kami. They are desiring for happiness. As we have learnt 7.742 Bhagavatam that once you start desiring for happiness in this material world, then it is going to be a very pathetic situation. The distress will begin. It will entrap you. The Maya is like this, entrap you. As soon as you think Maya is alluring us, everybody Maya, in this material world means Maya is the superintendent, Maya is the head. So he is alluring everyone. Please come, entrapping everyone. We are thinking this is happiness, but this is not real happiness. There is no real happiness. So we will end with the beautiful 3 verses in Bhagavatam. So we will end this classes with 3 beautiful verses. 331 to 3. The personality of Godhead, Krishna, the Kapil Dev is saying to the devotee, as a mass of cloud does not know the power of influence of wind, a person engaged in material consciousness does not know the powerful strength of time factor by which he is being carried. See, our problem is time. This so-called happiness, why Prabhupada say that this material world is a temporary solution but permanent inconvenience? Because everybody is under the grip of time. Kalosmi. Krishna says, I am the time. Everybody has to be carried away by the time. Time is very powerful. It will take away everybody. It will take away our position, association, assets. Everything will be taken away in course of time. Therefore, time is very powerful. So here it is, Krishna is saying, Kapila Devi is saying that this is very important. The time factor is very important, that defeating us in this material world. Whatever is produced by the materialistic with great pain and labor for so-called happiness, the Supreme Personality as the time factor destroys for this reason the conditioned soul lament. See, that is the problem. The so-called happiness in the material world which has been created, just like we created atom bombs, skyscrapers, iPhone, and so on and so forth. The Supreme Personality of the Godhead as the time factor destroys for this reason conditioned soul laments. It's matter of time only. It's matter of time. Everything can vanish. Just like we create atom bomb, once the time will come, whole this world will be destroyed. They throw each other and destroyed everything. Whole civilization will be destroyed. Then again they have to begin. That is the time factor is so powerful, Then this is the last verses, beautiful verses. The misguided materialist does not know that his very body is impermanent, that the attraction of home, land, wealth which are in a relationship to the body are also temporary. Out of ignorance only we think that everything is permanent. That is our problem. Whole body is impermanent. What to speak about the paraphernalia related to the body? Everything is impermanent. Therefore, this all is well is a myth. Material world essentially means temporary solution, permanent inconvenience. Because of this misgiving that everything is permanent, my wife is permanent, my land is permanent, my home is permanent, my wealth is permanent. So, because of these misgivings, because of this false happiness, we are entangled. We are undergoing repeated birth and death. The time factor is destroying us, taking away us. Not only taking away, but according to karma, we are again entangled with this repeated birth and death. Unless we realize that, no, this is all temporary, real happiness in the spiritual world. And how to get out from this? How to get out? We can get out by rendering service to the Supreme Lord. That should be our, if anybody wants to get out from this material world, one should render service to the personality of Godhead. This is our ultimate life. It is stated that the ultimate goal of the life to get out from this material existence. The real problem of life is the repetition of birth and death, which is like a wheel rolling repeatedly up and down. This wheel, however, completely stops when one is touched with Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, when the transcendental bliss realized from the constant engagement in devotional service, one is completely liberated from material existence. All learned men know this. Therefore, my dear friend, O son of Asura, immediately begin meditating upon worshipping the Super Soul within everyone's heart. So that is the solution. As soon as we come in contact with Supreme Lord, all our unhappiness, all our repeated birth and death, all our lamentation in this material world will be stopped. And the best way of coming in contact with Supreme Lord is by hearing process. As soon as you chant and hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So calling out the name of the God is the best way to establishing connection in this material world. There is no other process, in particular in this age, to establishing a connection or contact with the Lord. The process of calling out His holy name. As soon as we are calling out His holy name, we are associating with Him. And as soon as we are associating with Him, He is entering into our heart. Just like a army ship is landing in the army camp and destroying all our misgivings, contamination, infection of the heart, and cure us and rescue us from the hijacking, Maya's hegemony and hijacks. From the Maya hijack and hegemony, we are being rescued by the process of Sravanam Kirtanam. Therefore, that is the best process to get out. Then only we can be all is well. Otherwise, all is well is a misgiving, is a myth and misgiving without any merit. So we will stop here. So thank you very much. So every materialistic non-devotee should try this. Every devotee also should try this also. Devotee actually knows that, but sometimes he procrastinate because the doctor has given already medicine. The devotees means they know the treatment, they are getting treated, but the problem is that sometimes they do not follow the instruction of the doctor. Doctor say that this is your medicine, this is your diet. They do not follow that. So therefore the recovery gets delayed. It takes more time. They think that doctor should give me the medicine and diet according to my wish. That is not bhakti. Bhakti means anukullena krishnanushilanam, according to what Krishna desires, not that I desire. Therefore they disobey the instruction of the spiritual master, and consequently they prolong or procrastinate to go back to God. So everybody has to be very alert, because the spiritual cultivation or to get out from this material existence is not easy thing. Khurasya dharasya nisita durataya. It's khurasya dharasya. Khurasya dhara is like a razor blade, little inattentive it will cut. Therefore one should know the knowledge, also apply knowledge very carefully. In association of devotee, following the instruction of this spiritual master very rigidly, then only we can be successful in transferring ourselves from material world to spiritual world. Otherwise it's very difficult. Thank you very much. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Antara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.